So in the intro, we pretty much just wrote the program, and as the programs get harder, there'll be more work for you to do after I explain how the program works. But we're just getting started here. So to go over the elements of what we have, we use new py to create a new program. It has the shebang line. It has a doc string up here to explain what this program is supposed to do. We import the modules. Always good to import the modules up at the top of your program. It's a standard way to do it. I always like to have define my get arguments first. Here we have a description here for what the program is supposed to do, and we're defining a single positional argument. It's positional because this definition here, this name of the argument, does not start with any dashes. So that's what makes it positional. The last thing that we do from getArgs is to return the result of parsing the arguments. And remember, if the program runs and there's not sufficient arguments, like we got 0 arguments or 2 arguments, for instance, if we say frigate and boat, that will not work because argparse sees that we got 2 positional arguments and it only knows about 1, so it's not going to work. And the same if I give it no arguments, that's also not going to work because it's saying you didn't give me the argument that I required, which is word. So that's how get, and that is one of the many benefits of using the argparse to do that for us. We defined a main, and down here we have the bit that kicks off the main, the little couplet there. Inside the main, the first thing we do is we get our arguments. We unpack the word from the arguments. Right? It's available through args word, and the reason it's available at word is because that's the name here that we gave it. That's the name of the argument. We get the first character of the word by saying word 0, and then we lowercase it. And then we say, if it's true that that character is in the list A-E-I-O-U, then we want the article to be assigned the value an. If that's not true, then the fallback is A. This actually does not prevent us from, say, passing in something that's neither a vowel or a consonant. So because of the way that this is written, it's only checking if it is a vowel, and it doesn't matter what else it is, it's going to be A. I could also pass in the empty string, and that would actually, well, I'll pass it a space, and that also doesn't quite work. So our program isn't bulletproof by any means. It does something very simple, and it doesn't do it quite completely, but it works for the purposes of the testing. And then here we're interpolating those values into a string using an F string. And that's pretty much what's going over here in the solution. I talked about these things a little bit longer. One of the things that I thought would be worth pointing out was that we could try to, for instance, make our program match the case. So if we got an octopus, we might put the article also uppercase, title case like that. So that would be something that you could try to extend your program to do. We could also change the side of the boat from larboard to starboard, which is the right side of the boat. Or you could pass in the side of the boat, however you would like to write that, but you could make that be an option for which side of the boat you see it on. And that could be, so it would be an additional argument, and maybe it could be a positional argument if you wanted to make it required. So you have to pass in both the word and the side of the boat. Or it could be an option that defaults to starboard or larboard or port. And if you're going to add those, then you should add tests to test them. And if you're feeling up for that, you can open the test.py and modify that to add them. The other thing here is I pointed out that this doesn't actually check that the first character is actually an alphabetic character. So you could try to exhaustively check that it is either a vowel or a consonant. So how would you do that? How would you write a program that really won't accept anything but a true, something that really kind of looks like a word, like maybe the entire word has to be composed of just characters and maybe the apostrophe or something like that. So how could you extend this program and make it even more bulletproof? So that is the crow's nest exercise. The next one is going on a picnic, where we're going to talk about how to use lists.